For anyone who regularly watches our videos and knows our LEGO city, you may know about this build. Over in the corner of our city, we have this absolutely massive alternate Avengers Tower sat there. This one came from Barware over a year ago, and the build was not that satisfying. Quite interestingly though, we now have it in the city just fine. I mean, it looks great, and it actually came with a second modular, which was this Grand Central Station down here, which you were meant to connect, but it wasn't really possible. Now, we had a lot of problems with this set. You can kind of see all the bricks don't even go together when I zoom in a little bit. And it honestly was a nightmare. We cannot open this anymore. We can't really move it that much. The set itself basically is just stacked on top of each other. And there was no way to properly get it. There was a bunch of missing pieces. And it really wasn't one of the best builds on the channel. So today, we're going to build something else for the city. While we still want to have that included in, we want maybe a better and improved version of this to compare it to. The set we have in our corner was just over £100 for that and the Grand Central Station. This one does look really nice as well, but there was many build problems throughout both builds. However, yeah, today we're going to look at this instead. This is LEGO's Avengers Tower. This box is absolutely massive, and I think the build will be too. It looks incredible. It's got 5,201 pieces. I cannot wait to get into this one. I've had this in my backlog for almost a year now, and it's one of my most anticipated sets ever. I just haven't had the time to get into a build this big. But we found ourselves some time now, and I cannot wait to get into this one. It looks amazing. Something else that's amazing is the amount of minifigures we get in this. Look at them all. You know, it's the set that made kids around the world go, who on earth is Kevin Feige? But I mean, oh man, like this looks, I mean, for the price that this set costs, is something that actually screams, I am worth it. We look at so many sets now, and you know, for the big price points they just don't match up to what they are. But this fact that this set is so big and we get this many minifigures is incredible. I think this is my first ever Big Fig Hulk as well, which I'm so excited to see. But yeah, I mean, the fact that we get like 2 Captain Americas, 3 Iron Mans, really cool stuff. We've got loads of Shataris to decorate the set with, a bunch of filler minifigures, but also a bunch of great minifigures like this Vision that I'm seeing here. You know, we've got some really great ones. Even like the little Ant-Man I'm excited to build. I think this should be really, really fun. It's a combination of the original Avengers film and also the Endgame when they go back to it, plus a few minifigures like Falcon and Vision and Wong and whatever who just weren't there at all, but they're adding to it. The back of the box looks just as good as well. We see the measurements as it is on a normal base plate size, but absolutely massive, being 90 centimeters tall, which is 35.4 inches. We can kind of see how the modular version of this works and how it all stacks up. Some play features, we can see some scenes from the films themselves, such as Avengers. We've got Endgame scene there. That's from, I think, Avengers 2. And then we have the Loki escaping scene, which leads to the Loki TV show. Some really cool stuff here. Let's open it up. Even as we go to open this one up, we can just see even more detail. I love this print. That looks incredible, and it's like a really cool piece of art you can only get on this box. So it looks like most of this set will just be separated from boxes, but let's try and open it up and have a look. Okay, so it wasn't 2 boxes, it was one really big box, and then all these bags literally just put on top of, well, underneath it, all flattened down. This is crazy. Look how many bags. I mean, 33, that bag I'm seeing there. And I know there's more than that. This is going to be a bit mental. And inside of this box, we can see even more bags, as well as what will be our instruction manual and our base plate. This is such a big set. This is absolutely crazy. I think there's about 40 bags. I'm going to have to look it up though. Oh, there was our plates bag as well for even more stuff. This just keeps going and going and going. So in total, this has 39 numbered bags. What an insane build. This is going to take forever. The base plate does look good, but it does need Mills plating as well. We'll get on that in a minute. In terms of instructions, we get 3 portrait books, which I found quite interesting because normally we get a lot of landscape books. But yeah, these are all facing upwards, which is quite an interesting turn. Wow, there's a lot of instructions there. We also get 2 pages of stickers. This is a little bit disappointing because for the amount this set costs, you'd want some printed pieces. However, the stickers do look good and hopefully shouldn't be too bad. But yeah, still, I wish we got the printed pieces for a set this big, but these should hopefully do the job. I've got a massive task in front of myself here, but the best way is to just get started. We need to mills plate this first, but let's just go through the whole time lapse and build the mills plate and build the set itself. Let's go. It has taken us just over a week, but the build is now done. And I've got to say, it is so cool. It might be my favourite actual Lego set ever. To build, it has just been a joy. There's so much going on here. There's so many crazy details. It's such a massive set, and I think they've perfected the Avengers Tower, which is really nice to see. So much comes with this. We've got so much going on. The instruction manuals were really good. We get 3 of them, as we've said, but yeah, they were really easy to follow. The build was really easy. I didn't have any complications at all. It all went together quite nicely. And I was also really happy because we got a bunch of spare pieces too, and a lot of them we can actually use for city related things. Tiles like these can help with our mills roads, which is obviously really helpful, but we also get some light transparent blue pieces, which will help when we start building sea areas and stuff like that. A lot of these can be used for other stuff, such as printed pieces like this gun packet, which is really cool to see. I think before showing off all the details though, we should go move this into the Lego room so we can directly compare it to our other Avengers Tower. And here it is in the Lego city. We can see our other Avengers Tower just over there. And I've got to say, these two are actually very different builds looking at them, which kind of surprised me because I always thought they were very similar, but actually they're not. I would love to put them next to each other to compare. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but yeah, we can kind of have a look at both. We'll start off with this one. First of all, we get all these amazing minifigures and suggested places to put them about. We get extra builds like the Quinjet, which looks incredible. Loads of minifigures again, like I just said. But yeah, loads of things going on around the building. Amazing stuff. Got Black Widow jumping off there. I love this Hawkeye jumping off over here. We've got Tony Stark falling with his suit catching up. I've got the Wasp and a little Ant-Man there. Some minifigures on the front here, which looks really cool. I think these look great. I like this a lot. I like the Hulk. He's meant to like go onto here, but I couldn't get him to quite balance on right. Get Kevin Feige down there. And I've also put loads of minifigures in the actual building itself. It's quite easy to take this off, where we've got Dr. Cho there. We've got the 2 Steve Rogers there. Down at the bottom floor, we've got a Pepper Potts. Stuff that I might change around still, but I really like. Obviously a Falcon up here and Eric Selvig up at the top floor. Really cool. All the detail is really accessible. You could take this off really easily. It is modular, but the floors don't really come apart, so it's also kind of not modular at the same time, which is a bit annoying, so I would like to take the floors apart a bit like on the Daily Bugle, but it's not too possible. And here is our second Avengers Tower. This is not modular at all. You can't take apart any of the floors because the floors are barely together as they are. There is a lot of inside detail, but we had a lot of missing pieces and the windows are a bit darker, so you can't really see it as clearly. What I do like about this one though is that it comes on this big base, which looks really good, I think. And, you know, I think maybe this Avengers Tower should have been on it as well, because it is more movie accurate. But I wasn't too bothered about that because it is such a nice build anyway. Going back to this one, you can just see like how many of the bricks aren't even together, and it is all a bit of a balancing act. You can even see like the loading dock there, the hangar space. You couldn't land the Quinjet there like you can do on here, which is something I really like doing. And yeah, you can see some of the inside detail, but not really clearly, which is a big downgrade for that one especially. One thing I do like about that one though is it didn't just come with that. Even though this was about £100, it also came with this Grand Central Station build that is meant to go in front of it. However, I couldn't really get them to go together. But what I will say is this is a really good looking build. And I did like this one too, to have in the city. It's something a bit smaller, and I think it would look a lot better in front of that Avengers Tower. But that one is basically so bad that I just couldn't do it, especially having these little things to stick out at the bottom. They basically meant that nothing could properly go together because I couldn't connect them. So nothing can really go next to it apart from a clear sidewalk. It is really cool to be able to see both of them though in the city. One thing I'm thinking about doing for that one is maybe changing the A to an S and having the Stark Towers logo instead. I'm not too sure how I'd actually do that, but it's something I've been thinking about. Another thing I've been thinking about is where do I actually put this in the city? Because having two Avengers Towers next to each other would look a little bit odd. So I'm not really sure if I should maybe go all the way over here and have one on this side and have the other one on that side, or if I should keep trying to have all these skyscrapers together. I'm not really too sure, guys, so any suggestions would go a really long way, because honestly right now I am a bit stuck. I'm not too sure what to do with them, but yeah, any suggestions are always welcome. I don't know if you guys remember my build of this last year, but I actually gave this fake Avengers Tower ballistic bricks not approved, which I don't I don't do that very often. But it really didn't go together well. It really held the channel back for a long time because it was such a difficult build. And I will say, it looks amazing now it's in the city, but in this case, I'd say it's worth buying the real Lego Avengers Tower over the fake one. I don't say that very often. And one thing I will add is that wasn't the AliExpress version. It's not a 1x1 knockoff. You can get a 1x1 knockoff of this on AliExpress, which I haven't tried. Maybe recommend that, but I've not built it personally. But this one, I mean, they don't really compare. This one is so much better with the minifigures, and the build, it's so stable, it's so strong, it looks amazing. That one isn't strong, it's not amazing. You can't really see the inside, there's no minifigures, but it does come with two base plates worth of incredible things. I think this was almost 7,000 pieces across the two. This one was about 5,000 pieces, but 5,000 pieces that I used really, really well and made for some incredible design. This isn't the final location where all these minifigures will be, but I do really like having them all dotted around like this. I think it's really cool to see, especially this Nick Fury at the back with the Captain Marvel pager, and just seeing some of the small details that we have throughout the set. I really, really love. As a big Marvel fan, I love that we have all of this stuff going on. I think it's so cool to see, and I am a massive fan of it. I think this is maybe my favourite Lego build I've done, especially in a very, very long time. It's really cool to see, and I think it will look absolutely amazing in the context of the city. Maybe one thing I could do to try it out is to put it next to the Daily Bugle and get rid of the Palace Cinema. Not so sure how I feel about that, because my big worry was having all the Marvel modulars together, because I don't think it's realistic. When you think about like where these would be in real life, obviously in the Marvel universe, you don't have an Avengers Tower next to a Daily Bugle, next to a Sanctum Sanctorum. And I know this is Lego, and I know this is obviously not applicable, but I just don't like to try and have these things directly next to each other when it's not realistic. Now, at the same time, like I say, it is Lego, and the other big thing is I have two Avengers Towers. That is obviously not in any of the films or anything like that. So already I know I kind of contradict myself, but I just don't like the idea of having them all directly next to each other. I know a lot of people do. I love what they're doing with that. And even though I feel like I might, because it is nice to have a lot of the taller buildings next to each other in that corner. So it might be something I go to anyway, but I just kind of want to refer from having these massive buildings next to each other, because it just feels, obviously there's a lot going on here, and I like that. I love the display going on, and there's a lot going on the Daily Bugle over there as well. Got the Green Goblin bursting out. We're going to add some characters back to that one and decorate it again. But I just don't think it will look nice having them next to each other, both having a lot of stuff going on. It's nice to have the chaos here because the rest of the city is so serene and kind of calm. But if we had, three buildings with the other Avengers Tower there as well, and we've got three buildings with a lot going on, and it just feels a bit unrealistic to have so many like battles and superheroes flying around all in one very small space. It just, I don't know, I don't want it to look too messy or anything like that. I know a lot of people, what they do is they end up overcrowding their cities to get all their minifigures in and everything like that. And it's definitely something I want to avoid because I just don't think it would look good. You can kind of see over there as well. I've got the big Arkham Asylum build. There will always be stuff going on there as well. Obviously, that is the DC stuff, the Batman stuff. So, not as maybe busy and, people are more escaping from prison. So there's not people flying about and everything like that, with a few exceptions like Killer Moth and Man-Bat. But it's still something that, there is a lot going on over here. On the other side of our city, there's not as much going on. But we do have like the X-Men Mansion where there is stuff going on. And it's not as busy because everywhere else is kind of calm. So it's just something I want to think about and know going forward when I'm building this city that I don't want it to be too messy. Like, yeah, you can kind of see right now, there's not really a lot going on through all these. We've not added the roads yet, obviously. But then on the X-Men Mansion build that we've got here for now, there is a lot going on. But you know what? It kind of looks nice because there's not loads and loads going on over there. My worry is that maybe if I move the Palace Cinema out the way and have the Avengers Tower there, there's a lot going on with the Arkham there, a lot going on with the Avengers Tower that would be there, a lot going on the Daily Bugle. And even though that's not decorated yet, I feel like we probably will decorate that at some point. And there'll be a lot going on there as well. That's my big worry, is that I don't want to have loads of stuff fighting in one location and it wouldn't really make any sense. So it's definitely something I want to avoid. But yeah, I do really want to fit in this Avengers Tower with the rest of the builds. So I don't know what it is. I know some people will say to take that one out. I don't really want to do that because I don't really have anywhere else to display it. And I think it does look good in the city. It's just a matter of where I put this one. We've encountered a bit of a problem. These builds literally can't go together because of how wide this Avengers Tower is on the side. I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's a bit of a problem. You can see the base plates literally can't go together because of that bit at the top. So yeah, it doesn't quite work there, even though I do like the idea of it being sandwiched in between these Avengers Towers. That's not going to be the move, unfortunately. Okay, we've got this back out, and what I can say is this is definitely Ballistic Bricks approved. An amazing build that LEGO have done. I think it's totally worth the money compared to other sets. I know a lot of people had complaints about the X-Men Mansion and whatnot. We have upgraded our one now, but I can see where the complaints are coming from. I love the Sanctum Sanctorum, I love the Daily Bugle, and now we've completed the whole set with this Avengers Tower, and it's a magnificent build. There's no doubt in my mind that this is definitely worth it. Definitely Ballistic Bricks approved. I thought it was incredible. The only problem was having stickers. I wish it was all printed pieces, but you know what? It wasn't the end of the world. But yeah, now is the big problem. My Lego City definitely has a layout problem. I don't know how to figure out what looks best next to each other. It's a bit of a disaster. You guys can currently see we've moved the format to have one big street here at the back. But I don't know, like, I do like that a lot better than what we were doing before, and it is a lot more parts resourceful while having a few blocks like here. But I really just don't know like what looks good. I don't know how to make the best possible city we can and what kind of changes I need to make to, allow this city to look as good as it possibly can. I'm really open to suggestions right now, guys, because it's really difficult to know like where things should go and how I should lay this out, especially coming forward, whether I should do like blocks like there is here, even though I do think this looks quite messy, whether it be like I've kind of got like a block there, but it's just single file. I'm really not sure, guys, and I'm definitely looking for some advice on what to do. So if you guys have any suggestions, I'm really, really open to them, especially for the Avengers Tower, because dealing with two of them is very difficult. And, even if we did add the S for the Stark Tower to one of them, it's still the issue of what do we do with these two massive builds in close proximity while also not getting in the way of everything else. But guys, I hope you really enjoyed today's video and the build of this Avengers Tower. It's a build I've been wanting to do for so long. So it's really cool that we've finally been able to do it. And I know it looks incredible. It is definitely one of my favourite builds. It's up there with the Arkham Asylum over there and the Ghostbusters here as some of my favourites. So, but yeah, obviously the layout thing is a big problem. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on that because we are going to keep adding buildings to this. And knowing kind of what to do with them is a really important thing right now that I just, I'd need as much advice from your guys' experience, but also stuff that you'd like to see, even if you don't have a city, things that you maybe think would look cool. If you've got any ideas, please let me know. I'd love to add some layers to this and have different heights, and I think that's where a big part of it would go eventually, but we don't have that right now, and I've got to think, what do we have now rather than what will we have in a few months? So again, just would love your advice, would love your tips. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Ballistic Bricks. This was the amazing LEGO Avengers Tower, and I will see you later. Bye!